Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of We Are Forza podcast. Today we have Mr. Pebb with us. Hello, Pebb. How are you doing?
Afternoon. Hope everyone's doing fine.
Oh, you are very welcome. So let's see. For those who don't know, Pebb is a photographer. He is actually very known in the community. He has won many photo competitions, and now he's here to talk with us a little about Forza and him. Yeah. So, and while we are talking, we will be seeing slideshow with pictures that he has taken in Forza Motorsport 7, Forza Horizon 4, 5, and a few from Forza Horizon 3. So let's watch it. Yeah, here it is. So, Peb, let's start. What's the first Forza game you have ever played?
Forza Motorsport 2.
Okay. And so you started Forza Motorsport 2 and Forza Horizon. Have you played all of them? All
All
the
of the
five?
Forza Horizons, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what's your favorite car?
McLaren P1.
It's it's so you are lucky because it's a in-game car.
I like the car because the design is contemporary, just like the McLaren Speedtails are kind of a contemporary, whatever you call it. And obviously the performance is another reason why I like it. Obviously, it's mostly the engineering and the design are the two reasons I like it.
Yeah, it's McLaren. McLaren does beautiful cars indeed.
They
It
can be
was a
beautiful. There's a
yeah.
few hit and misses, but they're mainly designed to go fast. They can look pretty, but they're mostly designed to obviously go fastest.
I know. Oh, that's the main reason. But yeah, so we are lucky they are fast and beautiful. And what's your favorite track? It can be motorsport or Forza Horizon. It doesn't matter.
Um, tough to say. It's either between Sebring or Laguna Seca, but if I was taking those in Forza Motorsport, it would probably be Le Mans,
Okay.
Circuit de la Safa, whatever you call it.
Yeah. And do you have a least favorite track?
I haven't played Forza Motorsport in a long time, so I can't really remember. Might be the odd occasional city track, but I don't really have a least favourites. I don't really put much time into Forza Motorsport these days.
But could also be in Forza Horizon. Do you have like a track in Forza Horizon that you don't like?
One I hate the most that I just want to bury my head into the sand is probably the city course on Forza Horizon 5, the one that has the underground tunnels.
Yeah.
The
Welcome
one
to the
that's very
club.
quite narrow.
Yeah, I don't like the one. All the races with tunnels, I don't like them.
Too many
It's
blind spots, not. The
yeah,
layout would be better if there was less blind spots.
yeah, I totally get you. And when did you realize you were a car guy or that you like cars and racings? Well,
Probably, I started getting into cars a lot more, or was starting to enjoy them a lot more in terms of photography since probably before I hit my teens. I
okay,
used to go to the racing with my father at Thruxton Race Circuit.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
then
so since then, were you already taking photos of
I
cars or
started
just
taking
you?
when I started getting into it. Then I started looking at stuff like photography. Obviously, I tried to get into car design at
Yeah.
school, but that never played off because it's a lot more difficult to get into because you've got perspective to work with and all the different gradients and all that usual malarkey.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um. And where does your GT come from? Where Peb come from? Why Peb?
Um, I've had many names in the past. Obviously,
Mm,
TVR Ferrari fan is a bit too what do you call it? jumbled. Obviously, that's what I'm known on GTP Planet as originally. TV fan is a bit cleaner, but a lot of people probably find it confusing to call your name after a car manufacturer that a lot of
Okay.
people are interested in. So I went with Pebb because it's not really the reason. I was bored. I was struggling to find new names on Xbox.
Yeah.
There wasn't many available, so I just chose off the top of my head. I thought, well, this, might as well. This sounds okay. You know, a bit
Yeah.
boring,
No.
but.
It's,
And then when I went
nice,
to
Peb.
Twitter, I thought I might as well add a bit of a twist to it, obviously, but that's about it. Just come out of my head, just like nothing, just pops in.
But I think Peb, it's nice. It's a nice name. Everyone knows Peb.
And then if someone trips over a pebble in a game, they could always just blame me, couldn't they? It's left my nipples there.
Yeah. And now I have a question that you needed to think a little before answering. So, what does Forza mean to you?
Forza means being an escape reality. You know, enjoying yourself when things go to plan, and well, just admire the cars, the tracks, and obviously the game, the game world in terms of being able to relax.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now that you have talked a little about Forza and you, so now you're going to talk a little more about what you do in Forza. So when did you start taking photos in Forza?
Forza Motorsport 2 after Forza Motorsport 3 after Gran Turismo 4. I did do some shots in Forza Motorsport 2, but because it didn't have a dedicated photo mode, you had to work with a replay feature, which meant if you had back then the capture cards didn't have enough resolution, so you'd have to edit them to clean them up a bit in the lower resolutions.
Okay.
But Forza Motorsport 3 is my first Forza Motorsport with a dedicated photo mode. But before Forza Motorsport 3 was Gran Turismo 4, so I was pretty much in the game before Forza Motorsport had a photo mode.
Okay. Yeah.
And there were other photo modes in racing games that I did enjoy before Forza Motorsport, like Project Gotham Racing.
Yeah. But do you think that now, so we are in 2023, and do you think that nowadays all games should have a photo mode?
I think it depends on the type of game it is. Some games you just want to relax. If it's something like Tetris, you don't really want a photo mode. If it's certain story mode, if it's certain games are just stories, it depends on the game world. I think some photo modes don't work in certain games, but some games would probably make good use of photo mode if you could download a clip to your game, like to your hard drive. Like say first-person shooters online, you get a lot of moments in one of my other loves, which is Battlefield, where if you had like a dedicated spectate mode with its own photo mode controls, you could probably get some really good shots.
Yeah. But there, for example, so nowadays, so far, I don't know in the future, that new game from the Harry Potter world, Hogwarts Legacy, it doesn't have photo mode. It's a beautiful game, and it's something that many people have complained about.
It would make for some good scenery shots.
Yeah, because it's a very beautiful game.
You could also tell your own stories for it as well.
Yeah, I know. I think that all games nowadays, okay, with a few exceptions, but 90% of the games, they should have photo mode.
They need to. Once you start getting virtual reality, that probably make good use for photo modes. If you could be in the world in virtual reality.
Yeah, also because I think that nowadays photo mode helps to make some marketing for the games. So there are so many people taking photos of so many different games online. So yeah, I think it's better for them to produce the game to have a photo mode in them. It's like a free advertisement.
I think developers need to take a bit more, maybe if you've got certain people in certain communities take a lot of shots or have played your game, maybe start introducing more photo mode people in development of photo modes in the future to maybe redevelop them or evolve them over time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And did you need some time to find your own photography style?
Well, not really. I just do it in terms of what I think is pleasing to the eye as best I can, or
Yeah.
if it looks a bit different from what everyone else, it's a bit like abstract, like
Yeah.
experimental. Things don't always go to plan. That's why I always say don't be afraid to experiment, because it's not going to always go to plan.
Yeah.
But if you follow the principles, like don't put your shot like bang on in the center because that looks a bit mundane, a bit bland, a bit boring. It can work if you can overlay stuff in like Photoshop. But overall, I never really had like a style. Just go, well, what I like the most, and if I did take requests, I would try to work towards those requests as best as possible.
Mm-mm. Mm. But do you take often photos in real life?
I have taken photos in the past,
Yeah.
but when you start having the budget harder and harder, it's hard to get back into photography these days because
Okay.
my camera that I used when I used to go to Goodwood or Thruxton
Yeah.
was made in 2012, so obviously it's not going to be take as good as pictures as you can these days. I would like to get back into photography. I tried to get into it as a career. I did offer free offers to like dealerships, and I even offered to take some shots at Goodwood for an old YouTube channel, but they got the wrong paperwork sent.
Okay. 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 But do you think it's harder to find inspiration for the photos that you take in Forza?
Not every shot's gone to plan. So sometimes I have an idea in my head, but it doesn't always go to plan. So I have to sometimes tweak it. If I don't think it's going to work in color, then I will look to use it capture in black and white.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I noticed you have many pictures in black and white.
It's very hard. It's people say taking shots in color is difficult, but black and white is probably a lot more difficult to work with. I know it's a bit old school in terms of shots used to be they were potentially in black and white, and that's when it all started taking off a lot of people. But like I said, black and white's probably it does work for sun shots, while color works better for other types of shots.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't take so many black and white photos because I think it's difficult. Many people just
if you've got too much sunlight, then you've got to work with the shadows. But you could always use that to your advantage to make some abstract shots if you've got the right amount of depth of field, or you have a certain zoom length.
Oh, maybe I should give a try. More black and white photos, but I don't know. I just say I'm going to try
and then. You can take a color shot and edit it in black and white, and then work from there. You don't have to actually take it black and white in game. Yeah. If you want to make the most of it, or black and white, you've got to take it in black and white originally, or maybe lower the desaturation to like between. Sometimes I've taken it with a saturation of 5 and then change it to black and white, because that can also help you out if you want to edit the shots in black and white.
Okay.
You could also use Sepfire, like SEPIA. You could also use that as an option to make black and white shots, but you have to make sure the saturation is at 0 before you do that, because you don't want it to look all either it'll be like a certain color, then you know it's not a proper black and white shot.
Okay. Yeah, I should try. I think it's
you can tell stories through black and white, so that's one of the main things black and white's used for in real photography, like telling stories.
Oh, but so do you take also photos in other games? Oh yes, you have said that you also.
I have taken other games.
Yeah, like Gran Turismo.
I did Horizon Zero Dawn, but I just fell off that. I've got it, but I've not been able to get back into it. Red Dead Redemption, I've not been able to get back into. I've been looking to it, but at the moment, reasons mean I can't really take shots and edit them. I can take shots, but trying to store all those on an iPad or or on a server which you can't always access. That's why eventually I want to get a way to access them offline again. At the moment, even it means waiting until next year at the most.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Money,
and
that's the problem.
so, but do you? I don't know how you do it, but I have talked to other for photographers. That's why I'm curious to know. Do you ever play games without thinking about, oh, this could be a nice shot, and then you just go in photo mode and stop enjoying the game? And so, in few words, you spend more time in photo mode than playing the game.
I have had times where I'm about to get to a game, and then I've spent like on Red Redemption. I've not even passed the first chapter because there was a level where it's got so much snow and people shooting at you, so that got me like that. And then there was Cyberpunk. That was another game. I want to finish it, but when I was into it, I was mostly taking shots, which meant I was there for hours, and then obviously it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Racing games are a bit more different because you need the money. You need to play them to earn the money to buy the cars.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind an option maybe in the future if it's a Forza Motorsport. I think allows you to access any car in single player. But if there was a way to, like, say, in Gran Turismo, if you want a certain car, you have to buy it, which means you have to grind, which takes a long time.
Yeah.
And then when you find a method, they've always find a way to patch the grinding method, so it takes longer than your money to buy your cars.
Okay. And have you played the last Gran Turismo that was out last year?
I have played it, but I haven't played it since last year, I think. When they did patch a grinding method that used a gearing exploit, it didn't really ruin the game for people online. It was just a single player way of earning like credits. You could earn millions within a few hours, but now it takes so long to earn the credits.
Oh, okay.
Because you got the Legend dealership, and the developers don't really set the numbers. It's by an actual auction site that sets the price. So your car you could be about to buy for like 15 million credits could, when it pops back up, could cost like 20 million credits or 18 or drop, which means then it sucks to drive the game. I would like them in the future to maybe just allow you to use the car in escapes without owning it, but only allow you to select a certain amount of colours. Same thing in single player free race. Let you choose any car you want, as long but you don't own it. You can only just use it to take shots and like.
Okay.
Test out, obviously.
I have never played Gran Turismo, so I have no idea how.
It just takes so long to get the cars. There are cars in name I want, but I've just don't really have the time these days. Really, I might eventually get back into it.
I understand. I haven't taken as many photos as I used to because I just don't have time to play games, and there are so many games that I want to play.
You've got to balance it. So that's the problem with so many games these days.
It's true. It's
and Game Pass is nice, but there's just too many games to choose from.
Yes, exactly.
But I stick to certain games, so I don't get a chance to play them all. I probably will load them up for easy achievements towards Microsoft rewards.
Yeah. The Microsoft rewards, it's also a nice thing. Oh, this podcast isn't sponsored by Microsoft or Game Pass, but we like it, so we talk about it. Yeah. And what do you think?
It's nice to have a game physically, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. Stuff could happen where you can't access your game anymore.
Oh well, I am team digital. I don't own. The only game that I own physical is Forza Horizon 1. It's the only one. Otherwise, all my games are just digital.
But I don't want to see streaming becoming a norm in 20 years' time, because you can't always have a reliable connection, which means the graphics look a bit funky, or you might just disconnect when you're about to pass a level.
That's I I totally agree with you. Unfortunately, not everyone has access to a very fast internet to play
We
in
have
the
fast one down
cloud.
here, but because I use Wi-Fi, it means it's all over the place.
Yeah, I know it's same here. If I could play directly connect to the internet, it would be very easy, much better. I would say, and that's also true that every time I have to download a new game, so I just move my Xbox to where I have the internet cable and I have
And put
direct
it
to
in
my
standby if you need to,
yeah.
because now you can now put it in like a low-powered state, like
Mm,
deep sleep, but it's still updating your game, which is useful.
yeah. So yeah, so it's something that happens. But still, yeah. But there are going back. There are still so many people that don't have access to fast internet. I think those who are already
And
with their
Starlink's not an option either, because
mm,
stuff does happen where satellites have issues.
yeah, true. And what do you think it's your biggest challenge as a virtual photographer?
My biggest challenge, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, or find inspiration or having time to play because, like I said, you have to play the game for um, like in Gran Turismo, you have to play the game to get to new cars, or maybe you are taking photos in a game that you have to keep playing. You have to go forward to have new scenery. So yeah, so maybe you don't have any challenge. So for you, it's easy, easy peasy.
I would say probably the biggest challenge is probably just trying to become as creative within a timely manner, because if I am a FOMO, sometimes I could spend 10-20 minutes trying to do a shot, and then when I've changed the angle, then something else is messed up. Like in Forza Horizon 4, there was always an issue where if you had trees in the distance, all the pixels were messed up.
Yeah.
So when that would be a challenge, because you'd have to edit that outside of the game. You have to draw every single tree, every single line of the tree and all of the leaves.
Yeah.
But if we didn't have a route creator and blueprint thing, it would be more of a challenge to get a certain shot and say a dry condition.
Yeah.
Because you can't read. But now, because you've got the option to change the time of day, that does help.
Yeah.
But that still has some limitations. But it's mostly, I think, time, and then if you can't access Forza Rewind, sometimes in free roam, then you've got to enter FOMO that you got to be quick on the D-pad to enter it, because once you've gone past a certain point of your say road you want to take a shot on, then your shot's all messed up, so you got to turn all the way back, or just I don't know, try and force the Rewind to work again somehow.
No. Yeah. But so let's now that we have talked a little. So let's see. Let's talk about a polemic topic here in the world of virtual photography about editing photos. I know has everybody who has listened to it know that. So you edit your photos. So what do you think about it? Because okay, I was going to ask if you do it, but you already have answered it. Because it's a lot of discussion about it on the internet. I don't know if you have seen people saying no, the real virtual photographers don't edit the photos, and then while others just say no, you have to edit it. You have to, because we can't have everything from the game. So what's your opinion about it?
We have come a long way now, so you can take shots in phone mode and edit them. But the thing, technically, then it's not really. It's like if you only take shots. The way I look at it is stock shots are just, you don't play around with the settings at all. It's just a simple take a shot. But the problem with that is then if you've got a dark scene and you want a simple up the car shop, then stock settings can't really do it. Preset filter settings don't really work all the time for certain shots, because either the saturation is too high and it bleeds your retinas out in your eyes. And then you've got, I'd say, semi-stock, which is you tweaking the settings in game. But the problem is it does has limitations.
Yeah.
So if you want to say, if you did find a way to get an engine shot in, say, there is a way to get engine shots in Forza Vista without being limited, but because it doesn't always work, there are certain components which look a bit wonky that don't actually have the curves they have, or it's modelled wrong. But it depends. But if you want to create, say, a magazine cover if you wanted to create a magazine cover with Forza shots,
Okay.
it was a free magazine and it had to tell a story. You still need to use Photoshop to edit the thing so it will sharpen people's monitors as best as possible.
Yeah.
So editing does have its place. You can't create certain scenes without photo editing. Like if you wanted to, say, Forza Horizon 5 you could use, like, say, the Wild West type areas that have like loads of rocks. And if you wanted to create a Wild West scene where you had cars, maybe it was like a time lapse of different years, like you would have your Wild West, you would have to edit that into the game. You can't just make it appear.
Yeah.
So I always say, if you enjoy editing shots, edit them. People shouldn't get angry. Just tell people it's an edited shot.
Yeah.
Certain things you can't achieve just in game. You sometimes have to edit them. And if you want to really stand out and you've got the time, Photoshop does offer you the tools to really make it, like, you could add a car in game that isn't in the car, or you could maybe trick people's eyes with, like, I don't know, find ways to tell a story, or trick people's eyes, or double exposure.
Yeah.
End of the day, just if you like editing, let people edit. Don't complain, because every shot can tell a story, whether it's stock or not.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the way the shot looks when it's in stock mode, you've got like jagged edges. If you have the software and the hardware, I say edit away.
I agree with you. I agree. I think everyone should do.
Moaning.
Yeah. Anyone
they should just be thankful they're not editing it. It's people's time. If they have the time to edit, let them edit. It's not like it's going to really affect your free time. It's not really going to affect your chances in a photo mode contest, because you can't really edit shots in. You can't really transfer edit shots into the game and enter them, can you?
Yeah, no, it's true. In the game, you can't do it. Besides, if you are doing just the new things that we have in the new enhanced photo mode that we have just got there.
If you took a racing shot, took a race shot wanted all three cars and photos, there's a chance you can't get all three cars and photos, because if they're going at different speeds, then one car might be blurred than the other, and then you can't really tell a story of a racing shot. If they're all two are blurred and only one car's in focus, then you can't tell a story.
Yeah.
If you want to add different apertures, or you want to make it a little bit more realistic, you might have to use editing tools to like work on like combine a blurred out shot with an unblurred shot, and then obviously just use your tools to get rid of some of that blurring.
But what do you think about this new enhanced photo mode? The fact we can change the time, the weather, we can have the drive avatar in it or not. It's something that you think you are looking forward to trying?
It's a good start, but I think it needs a bit more flexibility. Like if you could have an option to like a slider, like instead of it being like the way it looks like it's like preset types of like days of time. So the afternoon might be at 12 p.m. But if you want, because the sun's in different seasons go down at different times, you can't really have it like if you wanted the sun just about to dip behind the horizon. If you're on that season and select evening, the sun might still be very high, or it might not be in a position you want. So I would.
Yeah.
It's a good start, but they need to evolve it so you can have like a slider, like you can just move it. Maybe in the future, be able to change the amount of rain that's coming down.
No, that's true, because we can change the time of day, we can change the weather, but we cannot change the season in the photo.
Yeah, and I would like maybe a complete, because we've got more games are now going to be coming on the current hardware. It's not next gen now. Maybe for the next Forza Motorsport, we haven't seen the fact. Maybe use that as a base for like a brand new photo mod that's built from the ground up, and that can be used because if you can keep adding stuff onto the current photo mode, but I think they need a complete overhaul to make the most of certain new features, and maybe there'd be new systems in place where you could create new types of shots. Like in the Spider-Man, you've got those different light sources, haven't you? Like you can set 3 or 4 different types of light sources. You can't do that in current Forza Motorsport. You can, but you can just... It'd be a lot better for the codes and make it work better if it was a brand new one. It'll take time, but...
But it would be nice if Forza Motorsport
took some ideas from other games and maybe added some new ideas that other games haven't done before.
Yeah, but like I said, it would be nice if Forza Motorsport would have this new photo mode that Forza Horizon 5 has just gotten. Because
if they want to tell a real story in the new Forza Motorsport, they need a... I know I keep going on about this for years, but we need a dedicated no-clip camera that can go through like barriers. Imagine if you could get your camera through the barriers, unlike the spectators that may be having a barbecue, and then you've got loads of Le Mans cars going up Le Rouge in Spa, or the rain's just about to come down, and then you could take a picture from inside of the tent as the rain's coming down. You could have light streaks maybe in the future. Maybe an option where you can have like, instead of adding it, you have like a light streak. You know when you got your car light and it's like streaking across, kind of like 2001: Space Odyssey type effect, or light, or maybe star trails that are moving, like when they're blurring and they're going like all like turning, aren't they? They're curving.
No, that I think it sounds nice, but I don't know. Forza Motorsport isn't really open world like Forza Horizon, and it seems it would be a little complicated to do what you were saying.
Maybe an export function, maybe, because the consoles are now these. You could have an option to export your shots to USB, and if you did use that to jailbreak your console, you would still run the risk of your console being jailbreaked. So let us have an export to USB function, and you could have the best possible quality if you had a way to access those shots from USB. No compression, cleaner shots. Maybe you could also use the technology to upscale the shots with AI, so you could have an 8K shot or a 16K shot.
It's going to be exciting to see how it's going to be.
AI's come a lot way. You should you can use AI to upscale shot, but if we had an option to use AI to upscale shots in game, but you can only access those on a USB drive, then it'd be good for people, I think.
Yes. Well, we will see when the game is out. Wow, the new things that they are doing. But I have a question now. Let's change a little bit of topic. I'm looking at this slideshow that with your photos. I have seen that you have some nature photos, and then you have some car photos, and then you have some abstractive photos also with the car's parts. And of all these kind of photos, which is your favorite? What do you like to take most? What kind of picture you like to take? Racing or details or nature? What do you like? What kind of photo you like to take?
My main enjoyment, because it could be quite flexible if you've got the right subjects, is probably close-up shots. People call them macro, but I view them as close-up. A macro is a close-up. It's very close. Like a macro shot in real life can only be achieved. A proper macro shot can only be achieved and be called a macro shot if you use a certain type of lens. I think it's kind of like it's kind of like a wide lens but shallow. But the reason why I call a close-up not a macro shot is think of a bee's eye. You know, it's got all those little dots on them, haven't they? Macro shot, a close-up shot can't really capture that type of thing on like an animal. You can do close
Mm.
shots of animals,
Yeah.
but unless it's like really close up and showing like certain like the veins or the fibers of like the hair or
Yeah.
or imperfections, but also put advantages on say a bee's like eye, then I enjoy close-ups, but I'd
Yeah.
like an option maybe in the future for a macro shot,
Micro.
but it would have to use AI to
Mm.
help out. But close-ups are my enjoyment. You can use it to make abstracts. You
Mm.
can use it to show off certain components. You can use it to make some very stylish shots.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Show
yeah.
every single component of like an engine.
Mm.
That's another reason why I want a no-clip camera that's kind of not locked to the car and say Forza Vista. Could you imagine if you could walk around the game worlds in Forza Vista and take it from say outside of the building? You don't have to have the whole area outside thing. But if you could like zoom into some part of the door, then you could have like another part of the car there. Or if you could get inside the engine area, could you imagine some of the engine shots you could create in Forza Vista with say
Yeah.
certain parts of the engine, like on say like a Ferrari or a McLaren or a Lamborghini or an old like V8. So many bits of hardware that you can't capture at close detail. If you did, it wouldn't be a proper close-up.
Yeah. So maybe something we need to suggest in the suggestion hub.
I've been suggesting it for a long time. Playground Games did talk about it and did see a question asked like about a few years ago, but nothing really changed. But a no-clip camera could allow people to maybe get into close-up shots. It doesn't have to be a car. It could be like in an area where there's loads of people or animals you can't get into. You can zoom into it, but then you can't really make the most of those subjects. Like a fire on like the next Forza Motorsport, because you're going to have all those objects in behind the fencing, but you want me to get through the fence to like say take pictures of fire at close up or a barrel or someone cooking something or like people cheering.
Yeah. It's so many possibilities we still have.
It wouldn't be that hard
have.
because they use a no-clip camera in trailers, so it's there. Just unlock it for us. It doesn't. You would have to give us some. It has to be done in the menu, unfortunately. But if you could have as an option to like, toggle in the menu, once you untoggle it, it just goes back to where the camera originally was.
I think that I wish it's as if we could, when we are in photo mode, we could have the same freedom going to places like we have with the drone. Because with the drone, you can go a lot more farther from the car than you can when you are in photo mode.
And the developers, they have access to some photo mode tools, or they have access to tools they use in the photo mode shots. Like, say, in Forza Motorsport 4, I think in Forza Horizon 4, or was it 3? Forza Horizon 3, there was a developer, like, you could take pictures of the engine like, opened in Forza Horizon 3 free roam. But that was only on like a debug like build. The developers can take shots if they want to like that. So let us take the shots like that.
Yeah, it would be nice. Maybe someday. Yeah. Maybe
you
someday.
You wouldn't have to rely on a photo mode glitch to get into the interior. You got all those. You can take some really good close-up shots in interiors, but more details rendered in Forza Vista. Imagine some of the shots you could take in Forza Vista if you could get in the interior and have no like restrictions. You could get very close to like the dials, like without them like disappearing. If you could increase the zoom even further. Imagine some of broken vegetable shots of like speed dials.
Yeah.
He would have a field day.
Yeah. He would.
You would have a field day. You could tell some really good stories with animals.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. Yeah. But I think that's it for now, Pebb. Thank you very much for being here and talking to me and sharing a little about your knowledge with photography.
Whatever knowledge I've got and whatever I can remember.
I think you have a lot to share and people have a lot to learn from you, Pebb. No. But thank you very much again. And
It's
for
been a
you,
pleasure.
and for you that is watching this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and like this video. It helps me a lot, and it's just 2 clicks from your side. Thank you again. Bye everyone. Bye, Peb.
Cheers, have a good
Bye.
one. Yep.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.